Okay, so today I'm going to try and repair the rust on the bottom of the door. So this truck cost me $1,000. It currently runs and will drive, but I want to see if I can fix these doors. This is driver's side. You can see the rust on the bottom there. There's some rust up there, some speckled rust in there, and down the corner she's pretty bad. This truck's got a lot of Bondo in it. Somebody redid the paint in the late 80s. See down in there she's kind of crummy. So we'll see if we can't get this patched up. I'll be using a patch panel I bought. It's this guy here. Just a cheap counterpart piece. It's made for this truck. So as you can see, it's got the right curvature in it, and it's all set to be folded over on the ends. I think I paid like $20 for this from KMS Tools. It's the same stuff you buy at Rock Auto, so on and so forth. It's just a cheap panel, but it looks better than what I got. So I'm gonna see what we can do here. I've never done this before. Seen a few things online. You can see that corner there is kind of crunched in a bit up, and so she gaps out on the end. This side's not so bad. So I'll get that door off. We'll take some measurements. We'll cut her off, and I think I'm gonna flange this one. We'll decide once we get it on the table. I'll be right. Okay, so I got the door latched, and then I'm down to my last bolt over here. So I think I should be able to take this bolt off, unlatch it, and then I'll put it on the table here. Let's see. Okay. I think I should be able to work with that. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I decided to call an audible, and I'm going to repair this inner part first. I don't have the patch panel that they make for it, so I'm just going to take some scraps and see if I can replicate this. And then on this side, I'll try and replicate this, and then maybe put a patch in here as well. I have no idea how well this is going to turn out. I'm not sure if I'm going to include this in the video or if I'll add it at the end if it gets too long. I guess we'll just wait and see how she plays out. But I think this should be fixed before I put that door skin on. Again, I haven't done this kind of stuff before, so we'll see how she works out. So hang tight. I'm going to cut off this lip on both sides, and then I'll try and create a patch panel and see how it works out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a flapper disc here until I get cut through it, and then we'll kind of separate it. Okay, so here I got it cleaned up. Looks like I got good metal here and then down to here. So what I'll do is I'll start my patch here. I'm going to take it along around this corner, and then we get into good metal here. So I think I'll take it across here, around here, past this, and then back here, and then all the way across here. And by leaving this this on here, it kind of gives me an idea where this door skin ends. So I'll take it all the way out here and all the way in there. You can see this is just old Bondo here. So somebody had Bondoed that up. Same on the front panel of the door too. There's Bondo and waves, and that's why I'm gonna replace so much of the panel. Back in here, we have this big ugliness here. So I think what I'll do is I'll run a patch across, up, over, across that way, and back down. Do that first, and then I'll do this guy in here. And this guy, I'm not even too sure how far it's going to extend. I got a big chunk of Bondo here. Seems to be good metal here. I'm hoping to come across here, down, across, and then back up in here somewhere. But we'll see. Hang tight. Okay, so what I ended up doing is I cut this out, and then I took a piece of leftover patch from my floor panel. Actually, just cut a little chunk there. So I cut this out here, cut this out here, cut it along here, and then I dug her back a little bit about the thickness of this metal here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip that in there, just like that-ish. And then I'll weld it along here, I'll weld it along there, and I'll weld it all the way along here. And that'll give me something to fold my door skin over when I'm done. This is the easy side. We'll get to the other side when we get there. But I hope that makes sense to you. I'm going to zap her in now. Okay, so I got that zapped in there. It's just flux core. Not the prettiest of welds with flux core sometimes, but you know what? She's solid. Gives us something to wrap that around onto, and she'll be good to go. I think I'll move over to this side and make a plan. Okay, so I've decided to order the patch panel for in here. It's very inexpensive, but I'm going to just put this patch in here for now so that we can wrap that skin around here. But this is a little bit intricate for me to be trying to patch together with, old cut-offs that I got laying around. And the new panel's very cheap, so I'll come back and do that afterwards. But in the meantime, this will give us something to wrap our door skin around, and we'll just patch this somewhere in there or something afterwards. So this guy's ready to go. That one's good. And this one's ready to go. That one's good enough until we get a patch panel. I'm going to flip this thing over, and we'll get started on the other side. All right, hang tight. Okay, so before I flipped the door over, what I did was I took just a flapper disc and went around the entire seam of what I'm going to replace, and just kind of grind into it until you see 3 layers. So you have your outer door skin layer, and then you have your inner door panel, I guess you call this, and then where it wraps around. And as soon as it breaks free, it's going to want to spring up. Then just pull it up out of the way, and I'm going to take the flapper. Now clean all this up before I flip this door over, and then we'll do the rest of our work on the other side. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll clean this all up, and then I'll get her flipped over. Okay, so let me give you a rundown of the plan here. This line here is 12 inches to the bottom of the door. So when I put my new panel on, it'll help keep me straight this way. This top line is where the panel will actually land at 12 inches. Okay, this bottom line is going to be my cut line. So I'm going to cut there, and then over here I'm going to blip up and over. So I'm going to put a butt weld in there. And then on this side too, I'll come up and over and I'll put a butt weld in there because I can't flange past this, right? Maybe I'll even bring that over just a hair more. Anyway, so I have a flanging tool and it does this to it. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but it puts a little flange in there, and then you take your other one. This would be my door. My door would be sitting like that, actually on that line there. And then here's my new panel, and it comes in and basically lays inside of it like that. And then I'll come along and I'll put all my welds in there. With it running across here, it's pretty floppy in the middle of the door, and I think the flange will help keep it truer. You could use clamps and put butt welds in, if your welding is good enough for that. This stuff does like to burn through pretty easily, so I decided to go with the flange. Basically what it does, I don't know if you could see it on there, but it takes your panel. Got another marker here. Yeah, here we go. So it takes one panel, in my case the existing door skin, and puts a flange in it like that. It just crimps it. This is the tool here, so you can see that offset. That's what it does. The other side's a hole punch. You can get that from Princess Auto for like 25 bucks on sale, probably even cheaper down Harbor Freight down in the States. And then my new door panel goes in like this, so it'll sit right in there like that, and then I'll come in and I'll do my welding in here, and I'll get this. So I do expect to have to do some grinding in here. I really hope not to create any waves in the panel from the heat of the grinding. I'll bebop around with my spot welds. As you know, we're doing flux core. A lot of people don't like flux core, but for some of us, it's all we got. You're working with what you got, and that's what I got. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cut this off. There's the patches I put in earlier from the other side. This is the inside of them. I'm going to chop this. I'm going to flange it, and I'll come back and weld it. And for better or for worse, we'll see what happens. I've never done this before. Let's give her a go. Okay, so here we have it. That's going to be a butt weld, and then we get into the lap all the way across, and then we're going to butt weld at the end. Our measurement is right on the money, up to here, from the bottom here, 12 inches exactly, both sides. So we should be good. Our sides look good. I am going to start tacking. I did find we had a lot of Bondo in this door, so I don't know how that's going to play out afterwards. See that? Everywhere, all the way. Anyway, I'm going to throw some tack welds in this and start welding. Okay, so I got her welded in. It went really nice. I do have a slight low spot right here, which creates a feeling of a high spot here. It's pretty minor though. I don't know if you can see it in there. It's right in here. So maybe she got a little hot. But she's in there, and it feels pretty good across. I think I might go back and go in between these one more time. And then I'll flip it over, and we'll get this bent over. So give me a few minutes here. I'll zap that. I'll hit it with the flapper again, and then we'll bend everything over and take a look. All right, so here's pretty much the finished product. I know I'm missing a video in here, but basically I ended up putting a skiff of Bondo in here just to kind of clean up the welds, smooth that out. And I did end up with a low spot down here. I pounded it out the best I could from inside. There's not a lot of access, so I did get a little skiff of filler in there as well. Not much though. These Taiwanese panels, when I do the other door, I think I'm just going to replace the parts that are bad. I don't know what caused that low spot. I assume it was from the welding because it wasn't folded over yet. Ended up folding over the sides there. Still need to actually put a couple tacks in there, just in here and here and here. I wanted to throw that primer on just to see how she looks. Look at my gaps. It is a little bit tighter on the bottom down here, but along the bottom it looks pretty good. And then across the top it looks pretty good. And if you're familiar with these trucks, they didn't always fit great to begin with. So I'm going to call that happy. I don't know if I want to try and bring that top over a little bit and sacrifice that along the bottom. So as far as fitment goes, I'm happy enough. Would I replace that whole panel again? I would if I had to, but I think on the other door I'm just going to do the corners. I'll make sure to do a video on that as well. But overall, pretty happy with it. I think the panel cost 20 bucks or 25 bucks. I now have steel all the way down, no rust. I have one rust repair to do here. I don't know if I'll make a video on that or not. And those cab corners are in. They're just kind of placed in there right now. The weld is in here. Got a little skiff of filler in there as well. Those are pretty easy to put on. I think that took less than an hour per side. So in less than an hour, I got the cab corners on. The rockers and the floor pan took maybe a couple days per side. And then this door was, I don't know, maybe 8 hours, 6 hours, something like that with the videoing. So overall, pretty happy with it so far. Where's this thing going? I'm not real sure. We still got a lot to do. Fender should be here tomorrow. I have a front disc conversion kit coming in. That I don't know when it's going to be here, probably a couple weeks. And then I also got the power steering upgrade to do. That's laying on the ground there. Captain Fab sent out my stuff, so I'll be doing that. And also be converting over to power brakes. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment. I don't know. I'm new to this stuff. Do whatever YouTubers do. And be sure to catch all that stuff as well. It's 1966 Chevy short box stepside. And we're just getting started.